The new Samsung Galaxy A series smartphones are here with us, and as we usher in a new generation of Samsung mid-range phones, I'm here to help you answer the question: should you buy the Samsung Galaxy A51 or even the A71 today? My answer is no. The A51 currently sells on Amazon for about $300, and at that price point, you can get many better deals. I'm going to focus more on the A51, but most of what I'm going to say will apply to the A71 as well. When the Samsung Galaxy A51, and not just the A51, but the entire A series lineup launched in 2020, the key selling aspects were awesome screen, awesome camera, and long-lasting battery life. But since then, March 2020 to now, phones have improved in terms of value for money, especially in the mid-range category. We now have phones like the Poco X3 NFC being the king of value phones for the year 2020, and more recently the Redmi Note 10 Pro offering so much goodness it's hard to recommend any phone which doesn't deliver that kind of value. So, how well has the Samsung Galaxy A51 aged? Let's talk about it.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
First of all, let's consider the design of the Samsung Galaxy A51 and A71. The design is okay, nothing extraordinary here. Hole punch camera on the front and very slim bezels. On the back you have a camera array which is just plain and boring. Not that it's bad to be plain and boring, but it's not good or exciting either. Now let's take a look at the display. Since awesome screen was the first marketed feature of this device, let's talk about it. The phone comes with a 1080p Super AMOLED display. It's okay as expected from like a display from Samsung. It has a Gorilla Glass 3 for an added layer of screen protection. Here again, Samsung cut corners. Almost all other mid-range devices launched last year in 2020 had a minimum of Gorilla Glass 5, which is more durable than the Gorilla Glass 3 on the Samsung Galaxy A51 and A71. So, awesome screen, but not the best screen at that price point because it doesn't also have high refresh rate, and most mid-range devices in 2020 had high refresh rates. Let's talk about the awesome cameras. There are 5 cameras on the Samsung Galaxy A51, and I am sad to say none of them takes really good photos. Whether it's the main 48 megapixel camera or the 12 megapixel ultra wide, you end up with an overexposed and very sharpened image, which in my opinion is not a good thing. The video quality is just average, and you can record up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. You don't get 4K, you don't get optical image stabilization, you don't get 60 frames per second video on 1080p. It's just standard. If the phone was priced at $200, that would not have been a problem. In fact, I would have recommended it gladly. But this phone launched for around $400. That's just crazy. At that price, you could get a Google Pixel 4a or the latest iPhone SE, and both of those phones have incredible camera performance. Now let's talk about the long-lasting battery life. We cannot talk about the battery without talking about the processor, since the processor directly impacts the battery life. The processor of the A51 was an Exynos 9611 chipset, and compared to other mid-range phones at that same price, it felt very slow and unresponsive. Well, you could play your Call of Duty and your PUBG at minimum settings and everything, but once you begin to scroll through like Twitter feeds or Instagram feeds, you notice that it delays. There's a significant lag that you experience, and as a result, a phone which had 4000 milliamperes of battery capacity, which should have lasted almost 2 days, struggled to make it in 1 day. Then there's the story of the charging adapter being a very low 15 watts charger when the competition was giving 33 watts fast charging adapters. So in conclusion, if you get a deal for the A51 and it's less than $200, or the A71 for less than $300, you can buy it and use it as a spare phone. But if it's $300 or more, I can recommend to you at least 3 different phones which will provide you more value, and I'm going to be leaving links for all those other phones in the description below. With the launch of the new A series phones, I think we should wait to see how those new phones perform, and if it's worth it, I will definitely let you know. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't, so you do not miss those reviews, and let me know your thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy A51 and also A71 below in the comment section. Thanks, Bebre.